You can do that one?
It's kind of weird.
Nope. But I'm hoping I don't have to go back to the US. So me and Faith, we're going to go see an immigration lawyer to find out the best way for me to stay in the Philippines with Faith forever.
Same-sex marriage is valid in Taiwan.
You can go to Taiwan and get married there, and then the US will recognize that so you can get your spousal visa once you get married. But unfortunately, it will not be recognized in the Philippines.
This is what I didn't want to hear, because the whole point was to never leave here. I don't want to go back to Vegas. I don't want to go back to my life.
The best option will be the fiancé visa, I think.
This plan I don't think is going to work. And I don't want to talk to you about Faith because Faith is really happy. She wants to come to America. But I could never afford to sponsor Faith with a K-1 visa. It's not going to work.
Baby, Loren's little fantasy of playing house in the Philippines, using Faith as his golden ticket, just went up in flames. And let me tell you, the meltdown is real. But the way he's acting, got Faith straight up scared for her life. Sis is legit wondering what this man might try to pull next.
But I'm scared. You know, I'm shaking actually. I'm not expecting for this. I don't want to see it anymore. See it. And it's over.
And just like that, poof, one day after putting a ring on it, it's a wrap. Done. Finito. Faith has officially washed her hands of this fool. And can I get an amen? But before we sip this tea, let's hit rewind real quick. So boom, last time we checked in, they had just done the unthinkable, got engaged. Faith said yes to what might be the biggest L of her life. Meanwhile, Loren? Oh, his sneaky little plan was clear as day from the jump. He ain't in this for love. He's trying to lock down that visa and make the Philippines his new home. And that, my friends, is exactly why by the next morning, he's scrambling like a man on borrowed time, trying to rush this whole process like his life depends on it.
But I'm hoping I don't have to go back to the US. So me and Faith, we're going to go see an immigration lawyer to find out the best way for me to stay in the Philippines with Faith forever.
Loren's flight home booked for tomorrow, but somehow, this man really got it in his head that he might not have to leave. Like, sir, be so for real. Let's not forget, this is the same dude who is ready to pull every trick in the book just to stay. He touched down in the Philippines with one goal, never setting foot back home again. And baby, the desperation is real.
But I know you don't want me to marry some other woman, right? But what if I don't just marry any Filipina? What if I just marry your mom?
What?
Yeah, just you wait. The lawyer's like, oh, marry the mom.
No, I don't like it.
If this all works out, we go to Thailand and we get married.
The way this man says it, the way he chuckles at his own delusional little scheme, it's giving unhinged, and Faith can feel it. The disrespect is loud. Like, sir, y'all just got engaged. This should be a happy moment. Not his personal brainstorming session for the most ridiculous backup plan ever. Talking about marrying her mama? Boy, if you don't. Now, if you remember, this nonsense is even on the table because same-sex marriage ain't legal in the Philippines. So here they are, sitting in the immigration attorney's office, trying to figure out their next move. Loren, still clinging to hope like a man with no options, throws out another wild idea, getting married in Thailand and then coming back. But guess what? That plan, dead on arrival, ain't happening.
There is currently no law in Thailand that allows same-sex marriage.
But I have friends that are married that are gay from Thailand.
This right here, classic Loren, unprepared as hell. But let's be real, is anybody shocked? Like, is it really surprising that this man, with no job, no money, no plan, somehow thought he'd just waltz into the Philippines, magically land a job, without knowing the language, mind you, and, wait for it, buy Faith's mama a whole house? Boy, if delusion was a person, his entire future, his big dreams, all riding on a situation he ain't even bothered to fact-check. And that's just how Loren moves, freestyling through life, hoping the universe will clean up his mess. But look where that's gotten him. Homeless, broke, unemployed, and looking real foolish. And now, it's the attorney who's got to step in and throw him a lifeline.
Same-sex marriage is valid in Taiwan.
You can go to Taiwan and get married there, and then the US will recognize that so you can get your spousal visa once you get married. But unfortunately, it will not be recognized in the Philippines.
Whew, dear. This is the absolute worst news Loren could have gotten. Like, rock bottom, life in shambles bad. Going back to the States? That was never in the plan. Now he's probably sitting there thinking, what was the point of marrying Faith if I can't even stay in the Philippines? Baby, his whole little dream just went poof, gone, vanished, up in flames, and now he's stuck, lost, and looking real confused. Because every half-baked scheme he cooked up just got snatched right out of the oven.
Under our laws, a marriage is between a man and a woman. So you, in turn, cannot get a spousal visa here or get a job here by virtue of your marriage to her.
Phew, this is a mess. Loren's little fantasy of living cheaply in an Asian country? Shattered. His whole scheme of using Faith as his golden ticket? Blocked at the gate. Now, here come these lawyers, completely clueless about the real dynamics, trying to sprinkle a little hope on this train wreck. Oh, don't worry, they say, all naive and optimistic. If y'all are in love and want to get married, it's simple. Forget all these other options. Just head back to the States and do it there. Like it's just that easy? Baby, they really don't have a clue what kind of mess they just dropped him into.
So to get a K-1 visa, though, don't I have to make a certain amount of money? Because it's a sponsorship kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So I make like no money at all. Like I can't afford rent.
Of course the lawyers are shaken. You know they're probably sitting there thinking, wait, do you still have enough to pay us for this wasted time? And once they realize, oh nah, he probably ain't even got it like that, they straight up shut down. That's it. No more advice, no more suggestions. Just go home, get a job, and figure it out if you're serious about faith. It's like they handed him a map to the most basic solution, and he straight up rejected it. Like they just dropped the mic and walked out, because at that point, ain't nothing else to say.
This is what I didn't want to hear, because the whole point was to never leave here. I don't want to go back to Vegas. I don't want to go back to my life.
The best option will be the fiance visa, I think.
Now, Faith is out here buzzing after hearing all that advice. She's living for it, baby. See, she was never on board with Loren's little schemes. In her mind, moving to the States has always been the dream. My future, my money, my chance to help my family back in the Philippines, all of that would be so much better if I'm in the States, she tells the camera crew, all excited like she just hit the jackpot. And yeah, sis, no doubt that's true. But hold up, Faith. Don't get ahead of yourself, because if I'm being real, I wouldn't be counting those chickens just yet.
This plan I don't think is going to work. And I don't want to talk to you about Faith because Faith is really happy. She wants to come to America. But I could never afford to sponsor Faith with a K-1 visa. It's not going to work.
As the meeting wraps up at the lawyer's office, Loren's mood is all kinds of foul. His plans, donezo. He's mad as hell that everything he thought he had lined up has been shot down. But hold up, tonight's still their last night together. They just got engaged, and even though they haven't sealed the deal in the bedroom yet, Loren's thinking maybe tonight will finally be his lucky night. So what does he do? Spends the last of his cash booking them a fancy hotel, trying to go out with a bang.
And tonight, I feel ready to go to the next level with Loren. Sexy time. Look at the view, it's super nice.
Oh, yeah?
Poor Faith is out here floating on cloud 9. Just got engaged to the man she thinks she loves. Learned she might be heading to the States. And for the first time in her life, she's living it up in a fancy hotel. She's stepping into a whole new world, feeling like a queen for once, not the maid. You can just see it in her eyes. This is her moment. But baby, on the flip side, Loren's whole vibe is the complete opposite. His dreams, destroyed. His whole plan to use Faith as his golden ticket, gone with the wind. And now he's already starting to treat her like she's just another piece of his mess. The switch, instant, like he ain't even trying to hide it.
Cheese. How do you say cheese?
I have to say cheese?
Yeah.
Cheese.
Hold up, Loren. Ain't Faith supposed to be the love of your life? Then why does he look like she's the most irritating person in the room? I mean, is he really about to fold after just one little obstacle? Come on now. We all know true love is supposed to handle all that, right? But nah, this ain't true love, and it never was. This whole thing's been a sham from the jump. And Loren's just showing his true colors now. Ain't no love here, just self-interest and manipulation.
If she's not what I'm looking for, and I go to the Philippines and I meet someone else, I'm hoping I can marry just a regular girl and just have ladyboys on the side and live in the Philippines forever.
Oh, so now that Loren's figured out Faith ain't gonna be his ticket to living in the Philippines, he's got a whole new outlook. Suddenly, she's got no purpose for him. She's just a means to an end. And now that she's not delivering, it's like he's ready to toss her aside. Forget the whole engagement, forget the dreams. He's thinking about swapping her out for someone who'll actually help him get that visa. So what does he do? Starts acting like a whole jerk, being as obnoxious as he possibly can. I mean, he's really leaning into it, showing his true ugly side now that he's got nothing to lose.
So what is your plan?
There's a plan.
You're leaving for tomorrow.
I've got a couple of friends that are like, yeah, come live with me, but I don't know which one I want to live with.
Loren's whole situation is a straight-up mess, and honestly, he brought it all on himself. His own bad decisions have him headed back to the States with nothing, no home, no plan, just chaos. But let's be real, what he just said wasn't some slip of the tongue. Nah, that was deliberate as hell. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows Faith is on high alert about these so-called friends, and she's right to be. He's playing games now, trying to set up the next move, and he's counting on her being too blinded by whatever he's feeding her to catch on.
That's why I have like all the girlfriends here, is I have like my backup options, right? Because like there's a good chance this Philippines girl isn't going to work out.
Right.
Oh, you know that's been his game from day one. Always got a few people tucked away in the cut, just in case. Now, of course, Faith is starting to ask them real questions since she found out he's shacking up with one of those friends. She's not having it, though. She wants to know what's really going down. She's ready to have that heart-to-heart. But here comes Loren, trying to push her buttons and take her to the edge.
You can do that one?
It's kind of weird.
Nope.
The way he's acting while she's trying to have a real conversation, it's straight up weird. Like I can't even begin to explain. He out here scratching his head with a knife and smashing cans with his own skull. Just wild, right? It's random as hell. Not what anyone would expect when you're trying to have a serious talk. It's clear as day he ain't taking her seriously. And honestly, it's disrespectful. He's just trying to get a rise out of her. And of course, Faith falls for it. She gives him exactly what he's looking for. Tells him to cut it out. But nah, that only makes him worse. Dude starts pounding his hand with the knife like he's lost his damn mind.
Can you stop that one?
What?
Talking with me like this. Is it normal for you?
Yes.
If we are a couple, you didn't do this one.
Okay, so there's something off about all of this, right? The way he's acting, extra weird, and holding that knife, yeah, it gets to Faith. You can see it in her eyes. She's straight up uncomfortable now. It ain't just about the disrespect anymore, it's deeper than that. It's like she finally sees the bigger picture, and in that moment, Faith makes up her mind. She's had enough. All the mess he's put her through, she ain't standing for it no more. She's done, finished, over. She can't deal with this foolishness another second.
Can we move this one? And I am not comfortable, sorry. Sorry, and we're done.
Yeah.
And just like that, Faith gets up, hands him back that Shein ring like it's nothing, and walks out. She's done with him, and their whole thing is over, just like that. And you know what Loren does? He doesn't even try to stop her. He just mumbles a weak yeah under his breath like it doesn't even matter.
Sorry, and we're done.
Yeah.
You gotta start thinking, this was probably his plan from the jump. He wanted to push her right to the edge. Now, I'll admit, the way it went down seems a little out of nowhere, real sudden. But something about it's got me feeling like Loren knew more than he's letting on. I mean, if you pay attention to what Faith says next, there's gotta be some deep-rooted trauma she's dealing with when it comes to knives. And I wouldn't be shocked if Loren knew all about it.
I'm not comfortable when you put this one, a knife. Yeah, it's a bread knife, but it's a knife. And because we are Fiance, we don't know who is the real one. Accept us.
Now, she doesn't come right out and say it, but if you read between the lines, I'm starting to think Faith has been made to feel unsafe by a man with a knife before. Keep in mind, her history with men has been hard, especially because she's trans, and I'm not sure. But I get this feeling that maybe she's been threatened with a knife in the past. Whether I'm right or not, one thing's for sure. Loren crossed the line with that knife nonsense. That was her breaking point. It's like she drew a line in the sand, and for once, she's standing firm, no wavering.
You know, I'm shaking actually. I'm not expecting for this. I don't want to see it anymore.
Did Loren actually mean to hurt her with that knife? Nah, of course not. But honestly, there are a million reasons Faith shouldn't be with him, and I'll take whatever reason it takes to get her out of there. If that's the thing that finally gets her to run for the hills, then I'm just glad we're at that point. It's been, 24 hours since he proposed? Forget the fact this is the shortest engagement we've ever seen on this show. Honestly, it lasted 24 hours too long. He's a disgusting, vile man, and as soon as he realized he couldn't use Faith anymore, he set up this whole mess to push her to the edge.